So 250 grams of protein a day. Isn't that a lot? Isn't it dangerous? Won't that damage your kidneys? And how the hell does more protein lead to more fat loss anyway? Well, in this video, I'm going to answer all of those questions and show you exactly how I get in 250 grams of protein per day when I'm trying to lose weight. Now, you may have seen or heard every fitness person go on about how you need to get in 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight if you want to lose fat and or build muscle. But why that exact number? Why not less or more? Well, let me tell you why. What's going on, guys? It's TrainerNeal. So over the past 10 years, I've been able to help many men lose hundreds of kilos of fat. And one of the main strategies that I use is making sure that they consume a high protein diet. Now, I've also been training for over 10 years, and I've been able to build a solid amount of muscle mass while staying relatively lean at the same time, apart from the odd occasion where I go on a bulk. Now, I've been able to build a solid amount of muscle and stay lean because throughout my training years, I've made sure to always prioritize protein in my diet. I always make sure to hit my daily protein goal. So there are two major benefits of consuming a high protein diet. Firstly, protein will help you to build more muscle. Once muscle tissue is broken down, protein is required to rebuild those tissues. Now, the more muscle you have on your frame, the more fat you will essentially burn, because muscle burns fat. That's why when people have more muscle mass, they tend to have a faster metabolism and a higher caloric maintenance. And having a faster metabolism will help them to burn more fat. So that's number one. Number two is that protein will help you to feel more satiated, and it is the least calorific per gram compared to carbs and fats. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. 1 gram of carbs is also 4 calories. However, 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. Also, lean protein is a lot more satiating than carbs, meaning that will help you to feel fuller for longer. And that will make a huge difference when it comes to the amount of calories that you consume on a daily basis. And because protein is more satiating, it's more likely that you won't overconsume your calories throughout the day, making it a lot easier for you to lose fat. So now let's talk about why the 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So in actual fact, nearly all data shows that you can maximize muscle growth by eating just below 1 gram per pound. So around 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight will be just fine. Anything above generally isn't going to make much of a difference. However, if you're a bodybuilder prepping for a show and you're on low calories, then consuming 1.25 grams of protein per pound of body weight may be beneficial for you. But I'm presuming many of you watching this aren't a bodybuilder prepping for a show. Also, one thing to note is that everyone is different. So some people may actually benefit from a higher protein intake than others, which is why a good baseline is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, which is also 2.2 grams times your body weight in kilos. Now, if you go a little bit over 1 gram per pound, so let's say 1.25 grams to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight, then it's really not going to harm you. So you don't need to be worried. I actually consume around 1.25 grams of protein per pound of body weight on average, as I feel having a little bit more protein has a greater benefit for my recovery and performance. Now, I would suggest to stick to a baseline of 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. But if you feel like having a little bit more protein will benefit you too, then have a little bit more protein. Also, you don't need to go overboard and have 2 grams per pound because that's not necessary. If you do that, then you won't have much space left for any carbs and fats in your diet. Now, is consuming more than 1 gram per pound dangerous for you? So generally, if you consume between 1 to 1.25 grams of protein per pound of body weight, it's not going to be bad for you, unless protein causes you to have digestive and intestinal discomfort. If that's the case, then you may want to consume less or consult a doctor to see what can be done. But generally, consuming that amount of protein is not going to do any harm. The issue comes when you consume way too much protein on a daily basis, so closer towards 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Then this can possibly lead to liver and kidney issues. Also, if your diet consists of a very high protein intake, limiting your carb and fat consumption, then this can also cause problems such as bad breath, headache, and constipation. But if you're being sensible and consuming around 1 gram per pound and not depriving yourself from carbs and fats, then you'll be fine. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you how you can get 250 grams of protein in to your diet throughout the day by showing you the exact diet that I follow. I'm also going to give you 3 tips to make it easier for you to get protein in. So let's start with breakfast. For breakfast, I like to have a breakfast shake that consists of oats, Greek yogurt, honey, chia seeds, dates, mixed berries, low-fat milk, and a protein scoop. Right, so let's start off with making breakfast. So my breakfast is generally my pre-workout meal because I work out in the morning, so I need a lot of energy
for my workout and for my performance. So let's start. Now, generally, I like to track everything, and you need to measure everything as well. So if you're not measuring, you're not tracking, then you're slacking, is what I like to say. So I generally have 100 grams of oats. It gives me enough carbs to fuel my workouts. Around 100 grams, doesn't need to be exact, but a little bit over, a little bit under will be fine. And then I would have Greek yogurt. About 200 grams of Greek yogurt, and that's around 15 to 20 grams of protein. Right there, easy to consume. I hate these small tubs, but there was nothing else in the store, so I have to do it like this. Try and get the exact measurements, because then it'll make it a lot easier for you to track. If you go over, then I'll show you how to track in MyFitnessPal. So, right after I have Greek yogurt, then some honey. So I generally have a sweet tooth. So for me, I need sugar in the morning. I need something sweet in the morning. Otherwise, for me, I get cranky all day long. So I'll have about 5 grams of honey on top of that. And then I would have some chia seeds. Now, chia seeds are great antioxidants and they have a lot of fiber in them. So I have about 5 grams of chia seeds. And they have some protein. So I do recommend chia seeds. And then after chia seeds, a couple of dates to make it even more sweet. Again, I told you that for me, I need something sweet in the morning. So this is the perfect shake for me to have. It also has a lot of protein, it has around 50 grams of protein. So after dates, then you add some mixed berries. I would say, again, I normally have around 100 grams of mixed berries. Around 100 grams, it's hard to get exact amount. Right, and then have some low-fat milk. So don't have full-fat milk, because if you're on a diet, in a calorie deficit, low-fat milk is the one, or you can have water. For me, I prefer having milk, just makes it a little bit more thick. So I have 200 grams of low-fat milk in the shake. And on top of that, I have a protein scoop to get even more protein in. So if you're someone that works out in the morning like me, then this is ideal for you to have. All right, and then we'll blend this mixture. All right, guys, and that's the shake. So tip number 1 is to track your damn calories, because if you're not tracking, you're slacking and you have no idea how much protein you're getting in. So one app that I like to use is MyFitnessPal. And so it's a very easy app to use. Now you go in it, I've already tracked everything, but when you do want to track, you go and add food, and you can either scan the barcode, or you can just type in your food at the top and type in each ingredient that you use, and then you go on it, click on it, and then you put the serving size and number of servings, and then you tick it off. So easy to use, and it gives you your macros and your calories. So then once you've done that for breakfast, I'll go on food. So it's 934 calories, protein is 59 grams. I would always go for around 50 grams plus per meal. Carbs is 121 grams, fats is 24 grams, and for me, that's the perfect breakfast to have. Now, if you want to have less carbs, because say you're in a calorie deficit and your maintenance is lower than mine's 3,300. So if you weigh less and your maintenance is less, then just have less carbs. So have less oats or have less berries. It's the easiest option to do. And then your calories will drop without decreasing your protein intake. Always keep protein a priority. So tip number 1 is to track your calories. All right, guys, so that brings me on to meal number 2, or lunch. So for lunch, we have 1 chicken breast, which is 220 grams, 400 grams of white rice, and 50 grams of broccoli. So in total, for calories, as you can see on MyFitnessPal, I've already tracked it. The calories for lunch are 898 with 80 grams of protein, 120 grams of carbs and 10 grams of fats. So now my total for the day is 139 grams of protein, 240 grams of carbs, and around 30 grams of fats. So that brings me on to tip number 2, which is to prioritize protein. You want to try and prioritize protein in every single meal that you have. So if you base your meals around lean protein, it's going to make it much easier for you to hit your protein target or hit 250 grams of protein per day. Alright guys, so moving on to meal number 3, which is also my pre-dinner snack. We have 3 whole eggs and a protein shake. So we have some good healthy fats and a lot of protein in this plate. And for the meal, there are 334 calories with 43 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and 15 grams of fats. So that takes my total for the day up to, let's have a look. So we have 2,166 calories, 182 grams of protein, 242 grams of carbs, and 48 grams of fats. So as you can see, the goal is to get 252 grams of protein. So almost there. Now, let's move on to the final meal, which will be dinner, and the final tip. And finally, we have dinner. Now for dinner, we have 200 grams of chicken breast, 250 grams of white rice, and 50 grams of broccoli. So similar to lunch, but just with less carbs. Now the calorie content for this is 670 calories with 69 grams of protein, 75 grams of carbs, and 8 grams of fats. So now let's check the total calories for the day. So the total calories for the day, we finish at 2,800, just over 2,800. And my goal is actually 2,800 on the dot. I'm in a calorie deficit as I'm trying to lose weight. So now let's see our protein total, and boom, we've hit our protein target of 250, actually just slightly above. Carbs are at just over 300 grams and just over 50 grams of fat. All right, and that brings me on to the final tip, which is to create your own meal plans and prep your meals in advance. By creating your own meal plans, and this is going to allow you to get a solid amount of protein in throughout the day because you know exactly what you're eating. And by prepping your own meals, this is going to make your life a whole lot more efficient. Now, to understand, my meal plans aren't going to work for everyone. I like to eat for performance and not taste. So I like to eat the same foods every single day. And that's definitely not going to work for everyone, especially for vegetarians. However, you still want to apply the same principles. So you still want to track your calories, prioritize protein, and create your own meal plans, because that's how you're going to get 200 grams plus of protein in every single day. Now, I also suggest to eat foods with a similar protein content. For example, I like to eat foods such as chicken breast, whitefish, tuna, because they all have a similar protein content per 100 grams. And this makes it a lot easier for me when it comes to tracking my calories. So guys, that's my full day of eating and how I get in 250 grams of protein throughout my day. Use this as a guide and create your own sustainable meal plan that works for you. If you do that, then I guarantee you'll be able to easily get in 200 grams of protein in throughout your day.
And finally, let's talk about flexible dieting. Now, flexible dieting generally means eating the foods you crave on a daily basis, as long as it fits within your macros and calories. Now, although I do like this approach to lose weight, it's not going to be the best for your performance. If you want to build muscle and lose fat, then what you put into your body on a daily basis is going to be vital. So let's say you do hit your daily protein target, then you don't want to go and fill up the rest of your calories with junk like sweets, burgers, and chips, because number one, these foods aren't going to fill you up, and number two, they're not going to be good for performance. Especially with sweets and chocolates, they're going to raise your blood sugar and make you feel more lethargic during the day. I like to stick to the basic whole foods that's going to help boost my recovery and performance. Remember, if you want to build an aesthetic physique, then you've got to start eating for performance and not taste. However, this may not work in the long run for you because you may end up really craving certain foods. And if you're starving your body from these foods, then you may end up going on a binge and ruining everything, which is why you need to find an approach that works for you. So for me, I like to keep my diet very clean during the week. Then on a Saturday, I would fast during the day so I can save a majority of my calories for certain foods that I enjoy. Now, only one night of the week I do this, but it works for me. Now, this strategy kills my cravings and it helps me to stay lean. And I still try and track my calories on this day to make sure I don't go overboard. So just find an approach that works for you and stick to it. So guys, that's the video on how I actually get 250 grams of protein in on a daily basis. And I hope you enjoy the video, and it will be of some benefit to you. And if you are struggling with getting enough protein in and you're struggling to lose weight or even build muscle, then I recommend downloading my free bulking and cutting guides below. They're completely free, they have a ton of information, and they will definitely help you out. So click the link in the description below. And if you did enjoy this video and you found it useful, then do me a favor and smash the like button. And if you're new to the channel and you like my content, then do me another favor and hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications, because I'm going to be releasing 2 new videos every single week just like this, and you don't want to miss them. And if you really do struggle with losing fat, especially around your waist, which are called love handles, then I recommend watching this video next. And remember, stay natty, stay clean, and peace.